Pedophiles are monsters, and they are not always who you expect. Here are 4 shocking times when some of the most disgusting pedophiles were finally punished for their heinous actions. Starting with 53-year-old Stephen Budd, who was a teacher at Rosarian Academy Elementary School. And I say was because he got caught and arrested after the truth was revealed that he used to give out candy to kids in return for sexual favors, a reward system he liked to call Bud Bucks. 2 of Stephen's students that had been sexually abused by him in the similar way in 2003 finally decided to report him in 2006. The police took Stephen into custody not long after. The following footage has never before been seen, and the detectives' faces had been blurred to keep their identities protected.
This was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was
She's
it?
in 4th grade. I'm not sure what she is now. She's high school.
Right.
So what were the control issues today? Like, what was going on with that?
What do you mean the control issues?
I thought you said she was trying to say something to you.
Yeah, she was accusing me of doing stuff every day in 4th grade to her.
Doing what?
Her and
When detectives finally confront him with the allegations, Stephen shifts in his seat and maintains a stiff posture. Before this, he had been relaxed in his seat. His sudden body language change tells the detectives that he's being protective of some information he's hiding.
Because the allegations were that you were not getting into the desk. So I don't know if you're familiar with DNA.
Yeah.
But just kind of like around right here in the spot. You're leaving your DNA there. And that's kind of how DNA works. Touch DNA and semen are different, and they show up differently on my history. Was there any time that you were at the school that you did know of it, that maybe you walked in or something to where you have any type of evidence down the road that shows up?
No.
Mm-hmm.
As the detectives push Stephen to tell them to explain why he had done what he did, Stephen maintains a defensive posture, denying the allegations against him.
Like to have 2 girls come in here and describe it. I think somehow they saw him, to be honest with you. And they were dead set on that. So if something happened and it was innocent and it happened, that's one thing. If something else happened, if it was forced, if it was at a different level, obviously it's something different. I'm just asking you to explain yourself.
yeah, I don't know how to explain it. There's nothing to explain. I don't know what to say.
You're watching a video on your phone, if there's a video in, you're taking a break, you don't have any students in, and they walk in and they see something they shouldn't have. I mean, that's...
I never masturbated in school.
Mhm.
This is serious shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very serious.
that's it.
It's just rare that, 2 separate people from 2 separate families would have the same allegation without
They've
something.
been friends for years. They were best friends. I know.
Like you said, they don't have any ill will against you.
I didn't
They
think
don't.
so.
I mean, if you didn't do something to, make them angry,
Right, to
write
start
them
it,
up, or, usually that's the case, but you said that's not the case. So we're trying to figure out, why they would come up with this.
I haven't spoken to you.
Stephen then confessed to having kids under his desk, but could not justify why they were ever there. It was at this point that he had unintentionally admitted to suspicious behavior, which was just one step closer for the detectives to put him behind bars.
Well, I want to understand the side of your class because I don't right now. You have reading, you have beanbag, you said under the desk.
Well, under the desk wasn't necessarily a center. It's just kids ended up there at some point.
Okay. How
That
many
was
can...
one of the places that they went, as well as like under the computer table, as well as, up front and wherever. Anywhere, just as long as they weren't in their desk, I think, they were happy.
Mhm. How many kids can fit under the desk at one time? Your desk.
I don't know.
It looked pretty small to me. I wouldn't say you could fit more than 2.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess.
The detective asks Stephen why he had taken kids out of his class during class hours, and Stephen is at a loss for words as he couldn't come up with an excuse as to why or where he would take them.
And then she says that you did take them out of class. Then what would you say to that? She'll say hypothetically. She said yes, he took them out of the class. And we have these girls saying this happened. And we have Miss Medina saying yes, he took them out of the class. How would we account for that?
I don't know how you do account for that. But I think
You were there. We weren't there. That's why.
it was a while ago too.
So you're saying you don't remember that? I don't want to put words in your
I
mouth.
don't
But-
ever remember pulling anybody into agreement during French or Spanish or whatever it was that year. Or any class, music, PE, anything.
The detectives ask Stephen if they could have his DNA sample as evidence, and Stephen is done talking. He refuses to say or provide anything further without a lawyer.
Would you consent to a DNA standard for us to compare to any potential evidence located under the desk?
Personally, I would, yes. But I also think this is there's no answer, and I can't piece it together either. So I'm thinking at this point, I need a lawyer. I need to find out someone that can tell me and look at this for me, not nothing personal against you guys, but if a little girl came to me and said these things, I'd be heartbroken and go with her too.
Stephen Budd was finally arrested and sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences with an addition of 15 years on his sentence, with 2 counts of sexual battery on a person less than 12 years of age, 1 count of lewd molestation, and 2 counts of lewd exhibition. But the positions of power don't end with teachers. Ralph Shorty was a 35-year-old senator, a Republican from the Oklahoma Senate, who at first would go unnoticed as another normal adult. But it is only when you know his case that you'll start to realize the type of monster he is. It all started with an anonymous tip from a concerned dad to the police, saying his son might be involved in suspicious activity at a hotel.
He's either here for narcotics or prostitution for narcotics.
Little did the police know of the disturbing and harrowing discovery they were about to make.
Drop what? You got an ID, Shorty? Shorty doesn't sound like a last name to me.
Senator Ralph Shorty had just been caught in a motel room with a 17-year-old teenage boy whom he said was just hanging out with and talking about life, but that was not the same testimony given by the boy. The boy had a meeting set up on Craigslist with a person named Jamie Tilley, who was offering cash for performing acts. Jamie Tilley is none other than Senator Ralph, who is now taken into custody to be interrogated. This is shocking footage of Senator Riley and his arrest, which led to the senator's downfall. Once the interrogation starts, Ralph claims he did not know the boy's true age and assumed him to be 20 years old.
Well, we were inside talking, and we heard a bang on the door. I honestly didn't know who it was, couldn't see through the keyhole or the peephole. And so, the young man I was with, I know has, I've known him for, we've been talking, he's come to the coffee shop that I operate a couple times. I've even had him over to my house, play video games before. Had no idea, told me when I first met him that he was 20. And so when they first got there, I didn't know what the issue was. Didn't know if it was, somebody trying to get in or what.
Ralph initially claims he met the boy at a coffee shop. Since the boy was a high school dropout and wanted to get a GED, Ralph, in his empathetic nature, claims that he had offered to help the boy study. The boy's tablet, however, was confiscated, and the police had found chats which would incriminate Ralph. He is then confronted with this evidence in hopes that he would end his false tale of meeting the boy in a pretense of helping him study.
Okay. So, how do you text him or how do y'all communicate?
Usually phone calls.
Phone calls? Okay. Well, it's interesting because on his tablet, he has a conversation that he says he had with you using an app called Kick. Do you know what that is? Okay. Well, there's a pretty lengthy conversation on his tablet that he says is with a guy that is you, that he that is online, or the Kick ID is Jamie Tilley. And you told officers that night that that's what your online.
He called me Jamie,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not sure why.
Okay. And anyways, so we've got a conversation between him and this Jamie Tilley about, he says, I need money for spring break. Jamie Tilley says, I don't really have any legitimate things I need help with right now. Would you be interested in sexual stuff? He says, yes. This goes on about how I come get you, blah, blah, blah. We go on. He says, he starts calling this guy Daddy. He says, hurry up, Daddy.
The evidence and the body cam footage from the police is enough to file a charge against the senator. Despite all that, he still denies the accusations and claims his version of events as true.
Hey, keep me updated because I want you bad, Daddy. The guy named Jamie Tilley says I'm going to you like a good little boy if you keep calling me Daddy. This goes on 111. Well, then it gets to the end. It says, okay, I'll be down the street, a couple houses, in about 10 minutes or so. He says, okay, let me know so I have an idea. Then that person says, I-35 about to exit at 4th Street. And then it says, I'm here. Well, we've got a witness, pardon me, we've got a witness that sees him get in a white Grand Cherokee, and they follow that white Grand Cherokee to the hotel, first to 4th and Eastern at the gas station, and then to the Circle K. Yeah,
This is the gas station.
yeah, the gas station, and then to the Super 8 where the guy in the white Jeep Cherokee and him go in, check into a room, and then go back out and go into room 120. All right, and they sit there until the police show up, where she then calls his dad, and the intern calls the police, and the police show up there to 120, knock on the door, and then you come out. So, again I ask, you told officers that you have online identity Jamie. This guy, Hagen, saying he was talking to you. We got a witness picking him up at the same time that this message was sent saying I'm here. So I kind of got to say that Jamie Tilley's you.
It's not me.
It's not you. Okay.
Ralph had also talked to the boy about his pregnant wife, which I didn't mention, but yes, Senator Ralph Shorty was actually married and had a child on the way while he was meeting this teenager. At this point, the officer's frustration with his lies is noticeable. On the other hand, the senator appears calm and continues to deny any claims, thinking his title would get him free and clear him of any charges.
How old is your youngest child?
5 months.
Okay. So he's telling me that when he first met you through Craigslist, that he posted an ad in Casual Encounters, and that he had a lot of responses for it, but that you said that you wanted him to mess around with your wife while you watched. He said that he showed up to do that, or you guys got together and started talking about that. He found out your wife was pregnant, and then said that it never happened because she was pregnant. So here's the deal, Ralph. You and I both know what the truth is, and the truth is not what you're telling us. We're not saying you're a bad guy. We're not saying you set out thinking that this is some 15-year-old kid you're going to go bang. We're not saying that. We're saying, hell, maybe you didn't know how old he was. I don't know. I think you probably did based on what he's telling me, but things are what they are. Tell us the truth. Get it out there. Let's get this over with, get this behind us so we can all move on.
I'm telling you that.
No, you're not. You're telling us part of what happened, but you're not telling us what's going on.
You told the officers there that you had an online identity of Jamie.
He's talking about, you talk about in these texts when this Kick account, about your kids and your kid being sick and your coffee shop and then you got customers left and that you close at 8. I mean, it's clearly you. It's clearly you.
And we've got a witness that put you there. When you say,
I absolutely picked him up.
when you say I'm here, the witness is waiting down the street because she thought it was jacked up. She thought it was jacked up that he didn't tell her where he was going or anything like that. So she sits down the street and waits. And then she sees him going to the Super 8 hotel with you, and then she gets scared and wondering what the heck's going on, so she calls the police. Or calls his dad, and then he in turn calls us. So here's the deal. We're trying to give you an opportunity, all right, to help yourself out here, all right? We have a electronic, we have his device, these are just photos of it. We actually have downloaded the entire device now. So we have everything that y'all said that night, everything. The thing about it is that tablet, once you sent the message saying I'm here, that tablet was never on the internet again. So the kid conversation couldn't delete. So we have the entire conversation. But you could, yeah, you can look at it. We have the entire conversation because it never hit the network again. This is a bad deal. This is prostitution with a minor, prostitution within 1,000 feet of the church, which are both felonies, and then transporting for the purpose of prostitution, which is a misdemeanor.
I'm telling you, that's not me.
It clearly is you. Ralph, that's a lie. You're lying to us right now. That's clearly you. No one else. With Daughter Sick Coffee Shop, I'm here and you're there. That's clearly you.
I don't know who else he could have been talking to.
Well, I agree with you. Nobody. We're at a coffee shop and one of the kids, sick kids, and all this stuff.
And
it's you. And here's the deal. He says it's you that he's talking to.
You showed up with condoms. He showed up with lotion.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, there was condoms in your bag. The cop saw them.
That's just absolutely not true. I did not show up there for any sexual thing.
Well, then there's also weed that was in a green plastic container. Marijuana that was in a green plastic container with labels from Colorado that was in the room.
Did you ever touch that bottle?
No.
So there's no way your fingerprints will be on it?
No.
Okay.
Because we have the bottle.
I don't know what to tell you.
He says, matter of fact, he says when the police knocked on the door, that y'all were both smoking marijuana.
He said that he brought a gram and you brought a gram, and you guys rolled a huge blunt, and that you guys were planning on messing around, it just hadn't got there yet. He was going to do you a favor by whatever it was you guys were going to do, and that you were going to do him a favor by kicking him some money for spring break. Ralph, like I said, we don't think you're a bad guy. We think you made a bad decision. There's a big difference.
The officers eventually get fed up with Ralph's lies and have no option but to charge him for the crimes just mentioned.
I just don't know why he would do that. I honestly don't know.
Because it's true.
It's not true.
He's 17.
And
He's
he lied
17.
about that too.
Okay, well, for all practical purposes, let's say he did lie about that, all right? Jamie Tilley is you, and I can prove it. So, at minimum, you met with a guy at a hotel to pay him for sex. At a minimum.
Within the 1,000 feet of the church.
Yeah, within the 1,000 feet of the church, which is a felony in itself. So, at minimum, that's what it is, all right? At minimum. So, I'm giving you an opportunity here, and he told me I shouldn't, but I am. I'm giving you an opportunity to do it, to take responsibility for it and make it a little easier on yourself.
Ralph Shorty was finally stripped of his privileges as a senator and was charged with 4 counts of child trafficking and child pornography. He still refused to take charge of his actions. He, however, pled guilty to 1 count of child trafficking, which landed him in jail for 10 years. But predators getting caught and facing the consequences of their actions doesn't stop here. 29-year-old Ryan Burton is a family man who browsed anonymous sites in search of underage girls. On July 6th, 2021, an investigator from Wisconsin Police Department posed as a 15-year-old girl on an anonymous social media site that led to his capture. Ryan Burton, who struck up the chat with the investigator, did not realize what he was getting into when he started sharing explicit photos of his body and making declarations with the minor. When the supposed girl admitted to being 15 years old, that did not stop Ryan, as he kept pursuing the contact and even showed more interest. Ryan, however, had more planned in mind, and only 3 hours after first initiating contact, he was already texting an address to meet up at. Little did he know, a 15-year-old girl would definitely not be there, waiting for him.
How you doing? How you doing, man? Good, good. My name's Detective Ross, I'm with La Crosse Police Department. Can you take your hands out of your pockets for me?
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Brian.
Brian, okay. Any weapons with you today?
No.
Okay. If you just want to put your hands on top of your head, I'm just going to pat you down, make sure you got no weapons with you today.
I'm here at the police department as well, sir. See our badge? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Right.
As the officials arrive on scene, they notice Ryan waiting by the front door. and the officers proceed to search Ryan for any weapons he might have on him. Ryan is soon put into handcuffs. He does not question nor protest, as he knew what he had done was wrong. He, however, definitely had not anticipated getting caught.
Put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, behind country.
Are you okay? You're not hurt, Brian?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, me taking him.
Just gonna check these things for fit.
The officer then confiscates Ryan's phone, which would later reveal the texts he and the undercover investigator had shared.
It's in his pocket. Grab his phone from there, okay, bud?
This is Dad's car. There's 2 IDs, one for his wife, one for him. And wallet was in the center console, which gave me permission to get. Yeah, should be.
I'm watching it getting one.
The investigator then recounts the conversation he had with Ryan before, leading up to his arrest. A shocking discovery is made, however, as Ryan is found to be a married man with children of his own.
So you guys saw him walk up to his door? Yeah. He told me it was locked.
Was it locked? He obviously tried to get in. He had his head on a swivel.
Cut through the alley. Well, it's the fastest traveler investigation I've ever had.
Damn.
Sad.
He's married too.
He told me he was married.
Police officers then searched through Ryan's car, where they found his personal diary, but it wasn't any ordinary one, as in this one, he explains how he had turned into a sexual predator.
Both therapists mentioned that I had nonverbal cues that I was uncomfortable when talking about what happened. After some reflection, I think this is because I've always felt like I'm a good person, I'm kind, but this has turned me into a predator, and that makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh, why don't we just take that whole thing?
Okay.
Later, after being arrested and taken in for interrogation, Ryan denies any knowledge of him having committed any crimes that revolved around children.
You know why you're here?
No.
Okay. Well, I have an investigation that's open, and you're involved in it.
Okay.
All right, but it's a pretty serious allegation. So Ryan, obviously you're here. You were taken into custody this evening, okay, for a reason. I've got an open investigation. I investigate crimes against kids.
Okay.
All right. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. You still have no idea why you're here? Okay.
Surprisingly, Ryan denies not knowing why he's there in the first place, and then refuses to speak any further without his lawyer present, as the officer informs him of the felony counts he's being charged with.
There'll be 2 charges. All right. One of them is the use of a computer to facilitate a child sex crime.
Okay.
And the second one is the attempted second-degree sexual assault of a child.
Okay.
All right. So I'll respect your wishes, and we're going to get you out of here as soon as we can.
Okay.
Ryan is facing the felony counts of attempted second-degree sexual assault of a child and for the usage of a computer to facilitate sex crimes. Ryan surprisingly is left free after he signs a bond that limits him from any contact with his 2 biological kids and supervised contact with his stepchild, while also limiting his internet usage. Ryan then receives a sentence of 22 years in probation, along with his name added to the sex offenders registry to warn everyone of him. And another person that's going in that list is 28-year-old Ricky Clark, a pedophile who has been in contact with a 14-year-old girl through an app where he explicitly showed intentions of having sexual relationships with her. Before things could get worse, Ricky Clark is however caught and arrested, and that is thanks to an official from a help group called Protect the Innocent that helps prevent crimes that confronted Ricky along with the teenage girl's father after setting up a fake meeting with him where he finally was confronted for his crimes.
Is your name Ricky? Yeah, we need to talk to you. Why are you talking to a 14-year-old girl?
I'm not talking to a 14-year-old girl.
We got screenshots. We got everything.
What are you talking about?
This is her father.
We got everything.
Let's start being real, Ricky.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know what we're talking about.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, a 14-year-old girl.
You show them the screenshots?
You want to start being honest, or we can go through everything right here, right now?
Well, can we talk somewhere else? Because I don't want to talk in front of everybody.
Yeah, we can talk over the parking lot.
Ricky takes them to the side to talk in a more private place. After this, he acts confused at first, saying he had not done anything he was being accused of.
So...
It's kind of weird that you guys weren't bulletproof vests. Well, not really bulletproof.
It's weird?
No, I just never seen it before, that's why.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're a pedophile, so why is it weird that we're wearing bulletproof vests?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. That's the thing.
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so, you want to pull out your phone then?
I'm not going to pull my phone off for something that I don't know what you're
Okay,
talking
well,
about.
we could get the police involved.
No, you don't. Just...
You're saying you don't know what we're talking about. So pull out your phone and show us. The little girl? You don't remember her name?
Caitlin? Why are you crying if you didn't do anything?
I'm not crying. My eyes.
Why
I'm not
rubbing your
crying at
eyes?
all. I can't rub my eyes.
Okay.
After being confronted and told why he's in this situation, he maintains his innocence and his ignorance on the matter, although this bad acting would certainly not last for too long.
You talked to Caitlin.
Yes or no? Because this can start going another way. We're a mediation group. Okay, so what do you want to start being honest here about? Well, so you could get some help, or what's going on? You don't remember? You don't remember what you better start thinking? Because this can go many different ways.
Having been warned of the multiple consequences his actions could bring to him, clear frustration is visible, analyzing his body language, especially the act of rubbing his eyes and letting go of a deep sigh. He denies knowing the girl until he's asked to pull out his phone so his chats could be checked. He then has a change of answer and says he might have talked to the girl.
I'm trying to remember who Caitlin is, that's why.
Okay, well then pull out your phone and jog your memory. I mean, we'll leave right now if you pull out your phone and...
Well, on my phone, I was just
But don't sit here and like try to like put the text messages away. What app were you talking to her on?
Is it that text messages? If it is, I'm...
Yeah, but what did you meet on?
Believe it's Bad News.
What about Scout or Meet Me?
No. They're all connected, so it's no.
Ricky finally breaks and admits to sending indecent pictures to the girl, despite her telling him multiple times that she's just 14. He then proceeds to apologize for his behavior, but the damage was already done.
Well, you met her through Scout, but pretty immediately.
Your name's Ricky, right?
Yeah.
You want to show us your ID?
My ID's at home, actually.
Your ID's at home?
Yeah.
Okay, the cops will get it, so.
Well, why?
Because you were talking to a 14-year-old
I
girl,
didn't-
you disgusting...
Are you talking about today?
The past couple weeks. Oh my gosh.
You know you're disgusting, dude. Let's start being
You
real.
sent your to a 14-year-old girl.
Do you remember that?
That I remember, but I didn't know she was 14 at the time. But she told me
She
she
told
was
you 14 multiple times. She told you about to be 15. What does that mean?
Yeah.
If she's going to be 15 in September, what does that make her right now?
I understand, I'm sorry. I know it's...
You sent your to her, didn't you? Let's be real. Yes or no?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't
why
wanna
did you do that?
I don't know what is going on with me. I'm sorry. Please.
How old are you? How old are you? Don't look at them, look at me.
I don't understand that. I just don't like other people in my business, and you got some other guy over there filming me.
You think a 15-year-old girl
Not him.
has her business?
Him over there. I don't know who it is. And I'm sorry about that. I'm stupid, okay?
The sorry fix the
You're
damage
a
done?
monster. People are filming you because you're a monster.
Okay, I understand that. I'm
You
sorry.
brought this upon yourself.
Yes, I know, I'm sorry. Please, I won't.
The community's scared for their children.
When asked about the type of pictures he had asked the girl to share, Ricky breaks down in an attempt to escape the situation and due to the feelings of being caught that he's now feeling.
Did you ask her for explicit pictures? What'd you ask her for? Let's be real here. We have resources.
I understand that, but I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm not asking you whether you're sorry or not. I'm asking you what you asked her for. What pictures did you ask her for?
Her body.
Okay, what about it? Which part of her body?
Please, I don't want to get...
Which part of her body did you ask her for?
I don't want to get in trouble. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking you a question.
I know that, but please don't put this on. Like,
but this is her father.
I
He wants
understand-
honesty.
I understand that.
He
I'm
wants
really-
honesty from you. And be real about what you did, because we do have everything.
I understand
What did
that.
you ask her for, Ricky?
And I know it's stupid of me to do that. I know I shouldn't have done that. I'm really sorry.
You asked for full photos too. You asked for pictures of her in the shower. That was almost the first night.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry. Please.
It's disgusting. Ricky.
You
It's
asked her to
disgusting.
tease you.
Okay.
You want a 14-year-old girl to tease you?
You're fucking 28 years old, Ricky. What the f is wrong with you? A 14-year-old little girl? Do you have children?
After having yet again another breakdown, which is not that convincing, Ricky continues to apologize for his actions.
Please, I'm sorry. Okay, please.
We're going over the chat logs here, dude. Calm the f down.
I understand. You're freaking out too if this is you. You understand that, right?
It would never be me. It would never be me. Don't ever try me like that.
I'm not trying.
If it was me, we don't go after children. We protect children.
Yes, you're right.
You're disgusting, man. If
Okay,
it were me, it would never be me.
I understand.
I don't find children attractive.
I understand that.
It's disgusting.
Okay, I'm disgusted.
These are babies.
Okay, I'm
These are people's whole entire worlds walking around here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're trying to f with and abuse. You're disgusting, Ricky.
But regardless, this proves to be unsuccessful for him as cops later arrive at the scene and the situation is explained to them.
We're working with him today. We've actually worked with other counties in the past, and we've actually had these people prosecuted before. We just go back to protect innocent. That's our organization.
I'm assuming this gentleman here is the child issue?
Yes, it's muted and everything. We have everything like that.
Okay.
So we can...
I have a USB with all the evidence to give to you guys.
Having heard and seen enough, they proceed to put Ricky into handcuffs and have him arrested. His final conclusion is uncertain, but with all the evidence we've seen provided, he is in a big problem, and that's for sure. If you like this video, subscribe for more and watch this one right here. Goodbye.